Hello, 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 everyone. It is your girl, Nicole, coming at you one more time. And as you can see, we have Katan Paul back in the building again this Thursday. Katan, hello, hello, how are you?
Hello, happy Thursday. Thank you for having me, and I'm doing magnificent.
That's wonderful to hear. But before we jump into this interview, I want to make sure that if you have not been to LacoleSmith.com, I suggest that you put it in your plans to go visit the website. Make sure you're going over there and checking out what we're going to be having going on. I am not going to give away anything this week, but once it's out there and it's live, and you went to the website before I put it out on the air, you might get that opportunity before somebody else. So make sure you're keeping tabs and keeping up with everything that we are doing on LacoleSmith.com. But now that I done put that out into the atmosphere, we're going to turn it over to Katan Paul. She has a juicy topic today. Well, they always juicy, but we're gonna get on started and turn it over to her and let her introduce herself, tell us what she do and what her topic is today. Katan, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Nicole, for allowing me to be on your platform today. And my name is Katan Paul. I'm the founder of BossBabeBlog.com. And long story short, what I do is I help shoppers find entrepreneurs. I help entrepreneurs find shoppers who are looking for the solutions that they're providing. So if you are a shopper and you just love shopping with small businesses, but you know you've been burned before, and so you have that trust factor where you're trying to make sure that you're shopping with somebody who's real, you can go to bossbabeblog.com, and the businesses that are listed on our directory all have their own art and flyers with description sharing what they do, what they're about, and a link where you can go find them, learn more about them, or shop on their website. So that's one side of it. The other side is if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for community, resources, support, platforms where you're being placed in front of shoppers as well as fellow entrepreneurs who also need your products or your solutions, then this is a great platform. We have so many different resources like our blog, our podcast interviews, our community chats. We have our collaborations. And that's another huge thing that entrepreneurs struggle with is not just getting their services like a website, a business card. It's working through the marketing journey of their brand as well as finding credible people to collaborate with to help continue to grow their brand. So here at bossbabeblog.com, we have created a space for each level and journey of our clients, our entrepreneurs. So whether you're in the journey of building and understanding on a deeper level, or you're in the journey of trying to develop rich partnerships and collaborations, being a member here saves you that time because everyone that you're working with, these are credible directory members, and you can receive insight on their style, their preferences, their focus, their mission, their beliefs to ensure that you guys align. So we save you a lot of time on that entrepreneur journey versus signing up for something and then finding out, oh, this isn't what I wanted, or this isn't real, or I thought I had somebody help me with this. And then when the day of the event comes, nobody's there. These are the kind of things that I'm not going to say that I can be responsible for everyone's actions, but I can be responsible for the information that I can provide. And because we take so much time to interview, to learn about, to connect with, to collaborate with the professionals in our community before we place them on these platforms, we're able to usually provide you with some, I mean, we're always providing accurate information, but we're able to give you insight on if it's the right collaboration for you, or if you might find something beneficial there, or how you could use the collaboration. So, more so to guide you and give you that advice and information versus trying to um, make you make a decision because it's all about what's right for your business. So, that's essentially what I do. That's some of the many ways that I do it. And if you are a shopper wanting to shop, you can go to bossbabeblog.com and click on the shop button on the homepage. If you are an entrepreneur wanting to elevate, grow, gain community support, receive marketing, advertising, promotional assistance, then you want to go to bossbabeblog.com and you want to go to the page that says join our directory, read through that page. And if by the time you finish reading, you're ready to go ahead and book a discovery call. You can book the call or you can skip the call and get a complimentary interview. So, again, thank you for having me, Nicole. And today's conversation is the name of the conversation, or title, should I say, is The Choices You Make. And the reason why is because I really want to empower dreamers, entrepreneurs, and people out there to step into their own business, like take ownership of your business. Because a lot of times I think people don't understand there's a reality of entrepreneurship and like being a creator and a dreamer that a lot of people don't talk about. It's a little taboo because it can feel harsh, and it takes away that fantasy that we have of what entrepreneurship might look like. So everyone's always looking for the secret recipe. What's the secret sauce? How do I do this? Tell me how you were able to get this. How did you develop that? And although everyone does have their own strategies, their own process of how they do things, there's an underlying fact that in many cases there was no opportunity and there was no secret. That person had to make it themselves. And what I see is sometimes people have these toxic traits of comparison, and I'm not going to blame it all on them. Sometimes it comes from childhood and developing unhealthy relationships where it's based off of comparison. So you're just used to that, comparing yourself to your siblings, comparing yourself to your children. Sometimes it's based out of social media because we live in this world where everybody's always on their phones and looking at what the next person is doing, and it makes them feel like, well, maybe I'm not doing enough, or maybe I need to do it like that. So there's a lot of different reasons for why you may have this urge to want to compare your downfalls to the next person. It's like we want to have a group pity party, and it's a very toxic thing to do because when you go through trauma or when you go through adversity in life, what you don't want to do is constantly be sitting in the feelings that it caused you and not actually doing anything to nurture those feelings and move forward and heal those feelings. Because it's one thing to feel it and to start to heal it. You have to feel it in order for you to heal it. But to feel it and keep feeling it and keep feeling it and keep repeating that you're feeling it, and there's no healing process, there's no solution process taking place, it's like self-inflicted destruction or non-productivity. And it's, in a sense, it's disrespectful to yourself to even be comparing yourself, your downfalls, to the next person. It's disrespectful to yourself because you're your own person. So why are we even comparing you to the next person anyways? Why they have what they have and why you don't. Why? It's disrespectful to that other person because you don't know what a person has gone through in their life and what they've had to get through to get to that place and how hard they had to work. And I've had so many times where someone was getting a highlight or a spotlight or something great was happening for them. And then I saw another entrepreneur make a statement like, "Ooh, she must not have this. She must not have kids. She must not have a full-time job. She must not be a wife." And there's a lot of thoughts that go through my head when people do stuff like that. First of all, get therapy because you're now making somebody's beautiful moment, their hard work, their triumphs, a moment for you to talk about why you're not able to do that. That has nothing to do with them, and it has nothing to do with why you're not able to do it in all actuality. Because a lot of people go through stuff that they don't tell you about behind the scenes. I've had people say things to me like, "Oh, if I didn't have kids, that's what I'd be doing too." No, you wouldn't be doing it because you complain every time something doesn't go your way, and you're sometimey. You start and then you stop when things aren't convenient for you. You complain about what you're not getting and then you don't actually execute. You sit in circles with people that you know aren't going anywhere because they're complacent and they want to have excuses instead of results. So you wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if you didn't have kids. You'd be doing what you're doing right now, which is finding another reason for why you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it's very disrespectful to yourself to compare yourself, but also to that person, like I said, because again, we don't know how hard people work. And so the reason why today's title is The Choice You Make is because not everything in our life is in our control. I can't control how I was born. I mean, I can change it. In this day and age, you can change a lot of things that you couldn't change back in the day. But with science, with new beliefs, right? But I can't control how I was brought into this earth. I can't control how I look. I can't control how I speak. I can't control what my voice sounds like. None of those things are within my control, right? There's a lot of things that we go through. We can't control what financial status we were born into. We can't control the trauma that we received as children or what we were exposed to. Those are out of our control. But there are a lot of things that are in our control. And when you constantly focus on what's not in your control, you brainwash yourself into thinking that nothing is in your control. I had someone say, "I can't run a business because I got kids." Join the club. Most of my clients have kids, they have families, they have jobs on top of that. They are wives, they are divorced, they are going through. Like, I mean, join the club. Everybody has something in their life that is a reason for why they can or cannot achieve, right? In their mind. Because you could look at that and you could say, because I have kids, I can't be a business owner, or I can't grow my business. Or you could look at that and you could say, because I have kids, I have an opportunity to get the community excited about pouring back into the youth, because I have a plan for how I'm going to build this generational wealth, not just for me, but for my children. We can build a business together. We can show up and do family events. We can invite people to do family events. I can talk to people in the community. Is it going to be easy? No, it's absolutely not. But the choice you make on whether you choose to lean into your excuses versus your solutions and your blessings and your talents is the choice that determines what your results look like in the next 6 months. So, to be quite frank, when business owners that I have seen make the same choice say things like, I don't have sales, I'm not surprised. You're making the same choice. It's not a surprise to me. I can't even act surprised. I don't even go, really? We know. You know why? Because on that day when business was slow and you weren't getting that traffic, you chose to focus on things you couldn't control, like the fact that it was raining outside and there was no traffic. We can't change the rain. What do I look like? Storm? No, you got to get out there. You got to go hand out some flyers. You got to tell people come out, you know? I don't know why they were telling me that. Like I was supposed to do something, part the skies. I'm not Moses. I'm not Storm from X-Men. I'm not sure what solution they were expecting from that conversation, but we can't control things that are out of our control, but we can focus on the stuff that we can control. So when you say that you're not getting sales and I don't see you going live every day, the choice you make will determine the results that you have in the next 6 months. When I was not seeing the sales that I wanted to see at the pace that I want to see them, guess what? I started selling more. So I started going live every day for 90 days straight. It was a 90-day challenge. And every day, no matter how I felt, no matter how tired I was, no matter how irritated I was, whether I felt like I was going to make a sale or I wasn't, whether I was dealing with family stuff or health stuff or transitioning stuff, it did not matter. I got on that live, I smiled, I introduced myself, and I sold my products and my services. And I did that in the community with about 90 people. And then it started to build. The community grew to like over 1,000 people. But I did it every single day I went live. And guess what? At one point, almost every single day, I got a sale or more than one sale on a service or a product. $200 sales from somebody purchasing a social media kit, $50 sale from somebody purchasing food and snacks. I've had people now that talk about the food or the stuff that I sold in the past and they want more. So, which has led me to have to start putting more products back on my other businesses. But at the end of the day, every day I got up and I did it. And I could have easily looked and said, that's going to be the reason today why I don't do it. And the difference between people who are successful versus people who are constantly in the same story, not the same problems, not the same adversities, not the same things you can't control, but the same story, is because they are not choosing to elevate in ways that they can control. I'm not talking about trying to control things that you just don't have any control over. You don't have as much funding as the next person. You weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Or disaster hit your family or your finances to the point where you had to change a lot of stuff. Okay, that's just the reality that you're in. Those are the cards you're dealt with, and it may not be fair. There's a lot of things that don't feel fair and are not fair in this world. But the question you have to ask yourself is, are you going to spend your life naming off a list of what's not fair and doing nothing about it? Because at that point, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I have a new rule that I'm enforcing in my own life, which is after the third time of talking about something, if I don't have a solution about it, I'm not talking about it no more, because that means I don't want one. I'm not even gonna waste my own time. I'm not gonna play with myself. So if I keep talking about something and I still don't have a solution, or I still have not acted on one, it's not coming to my mouth again, because clearly I have to go and reassess what needs to be done, and then I need to go execute. No more talking. Y'all know those people in your life, or those situations where people do so much talking and then the action never follows. That's entrepreneurship. No more talking. Start moving. Start getting done what we need to do, and make the choice today. The discomfort, the working through the things that frustrate us, the crying days and nights when you're just crying because you're so stressed out. Are you going to allow that to be the reason why you don't succeed, or are you going to allow that to be the story you tell after you do? The choice you make. And every day is a choice. Every day, every action. If you are spending your time texting about celebrity gossip, you could have been spending that time texting somebody about a solution to help them in their life. Someone that gave you their information and gave you permission to text them. But instead, you're texting about celebrity gossip. And then you have the audacity to come to me talking about somebody ain't got no sales. Take ownership of your decisions, take ownership of your actions, and release the things that are not in your control. That is the message for today.
And that's actually a really, really good message because a lot of times we don't realize the lack of time that we have when it comes to that in between time, that downtime, as people say. We don't pay attention to the things that we are just wasting time on that we can be being productive with because sometimes you have to actually take time and write down a schedule for yourself. And that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I intentionally did for the second half of this year. I decided to write down a schedule for myself. I included the time that I'm driving to work, the time that I'm driving from work, the time that I have to take my daughter to do what she has to do, the time that I'm spending at work, the time that I'm going to be spending for my business. I'm being very intentional going into the second half of this year making better decisions on the things that I want to accomplish because I have a goal in mind that I want to achieve. And I have to bring myself in and make sure that every minute that I'm utilizing, that I'm using it in the best way possible.
Yeah.
So it is the choices that we're making. It is the things that we decide that we're going to do differently because we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like they say, doing the same thing over and over again, that's insanity.
Yep.
And for the longest, I guess I was being insane, you know, but sometimes it's not even intentional. Sometimes we're not even paying attention that we are doing the same things over and over again
It's
because
subliminal.
we're not focused on what we're doing and how we're doing it. So
Yeah.
you're doing things repetitively and don't even know that you're doing them.
You're going
So
through the motions.
we we have to make sure that we're being intentional. Um, I'm so excited about the second half of this year. I done put a lot of things in place behind the scene in the first part of the year that I want to execute in the second half of this year. Um, Getting with my business mentor, making sure that I'm on point, making sure that your business is aligning with your mission, your vision is aligning with your mission, and everything is aligning with yourself. We
Yep.
have to make sure that these are the things that we're doing because we have to make sure we're being productive and we have to make sure that the things that we are doing, like I said before, are intentional. And if you want
Impactful.
to leave that job, like you say, you want to leave your job, you got to do the things that you got to do to make the money in your business to replace the income that you're going to be losing from that job. So we have to make sure that we're putting in the work, we're putting in the effort, we're putting in the time. And sometimes it comes with a little lack of sleep. Sometimes it's gonna come with some excess stress, but learn how to balance. Learn how to give when you need to give. Learn how to take when you need to take. Learn how to rest when you need to rest.
Yeah.
That was one of my main things I had to do. Um, because I wasn't resting. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. But God was like, okay, you don't want to rest. You don't want to do what you got to do. I'm gonna sit you down. I had a mild heart attack,
Yeah.
so I ain't have no choice but to be sat down because that was something I couldn't control. But I could have probably prevented that from happening had I been taking care of myself better, had I been paying attention to the things that I needed to pay attention to when it came to my health.
Yeah.
But I was just moving and going through the motion and doing all the things that I felt like were important, and my health was lacking. And next, I'm having a mild heart attack and I'm laying up in somebody's hospital. So we have to make sure that we're making good choices, but at the same time, while we're making those good choices, we need to make sure that we're still taking care of business. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it's easier said than done. But just don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep going. So this is a great topic, and it deserves more than the time that we have
Mm.
because,
Yeah.
baby,
I have 3 podcasts lined up on this specific topic, and the reason why is because of what I told you earlier. I keep seeing the same The same entrepreneur, the same heart, but two different decisions, and then two
Mm.
different outcomes because of it. I can't tell you, this year I probably had at least three off the top of my head that I can recall to you specifically. Three events where I had two different people come in, two different mindsets. One person came to the event and they talked to everybody. They connected with everyone. They shook everyone's hands. The other person came to the event and they stayed in their little huddle, in their little space. One
Mhm.
person left out with 100 plus, 200 plus dollars in sales and promos, and the other person left out with nothing or less. The choice that you make, the decision that you make, determines your results in the future, whether it's the near future or later. I hosted a networking event. I had someone, multiple people actually in one industry saying they needed something. I invited multiple people in that industry to come out. One person in
Mhm.
particular came out to that industry, and that person had over $1,000 sale. So the choices you make today will determine the end. Am I saying that you have to come to my events to make the right choice? Absolutely not. I want to clarify what I'm stating here. I'm saying the things that make you uncomfortable, like speaking up, promoting yourself, shaking someone's hand and introducing yourself, even though you don't know them from a can of paint. These are things that make us uncomfortable, but you're going to have to do it. And you're going to have to make those decisions now, or you're going to be playing that game later where you're saying, I don't have any sales. I don't see any growth. I'm not seeing any traction. Well, you made the decisions that created this result today. And we can find a million reasons in the room. We can say it's because we don't have a support system. We can say it's because we don't have good friends. We can say it's because we don't have because we have children. We can say so many of these different things. But the same things that we're saying, there's somebody out there who's making that their testimony as to why they're succeeding and why they're pushing through. So the question is not what is it that they must have easy that makes it easy for them to do it. The question is, what is it internally in me that I need to work on and externally in me that I need to work on so that I can get to that next level? Because we just so worried about what the next person is doing, and it's really a toxic trait to carry, and I just see too much of it, because it's like all that time and energy you're spending on that, you really could have already had a sale by now. And then I'm
Yeah.
watching and observing before I'm making these conclusions. So it's not like I just saw you one day or 2 days. No, I constantly see you here at this location talking about how you don't have this and you don't have that. And I also see you sitting by yourself, chilling, scrolling on social media, gossiping, talking about stuff that has nothing to do with growth, elevation, or impact. Get up, get engaged, step into a room, shake a hand, introduce yourself, ask for a card, go fill out some information on a form to a class where you can learn something new. Put yourself out there, apply yourself, be the first person to introduce yourself in the room, not the last. Stop thinking that your decisions aren't telling you where you're going to be in the next 3 to 6 months. But like I said, I have a podcast for that. So we'll be talking about that in the next 3 podcasts, Nicole.
Definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to all of the upcoming events that you have going. Would you like to share some of the events that you have coming up?
Yes, I currently have Soft Girl Sunday. I have online events. So, like right now, we have upcoming the Boss Bay Business Show. I have Soft Girl Sunday, and Soft Girl Sunday is in person, Plano, Texas. We're doing cake karaoke conversation. So, we're just going to laugh, have a good time, listen to music, and just have a positive energy as we celebrate the birthday of Kanitra Cowens and myself, Katan Paul. So, we're just celebrating these Cancer/Leo birthdays and having a great time with everybody that wants to come out, laugh, and connect, network, take advantage of the opportunity being in a room full of multiple people that may or may not own businesses or want to support and learn about them. And also just coming as you are, and, not feeling the need to have this whole presentation together in order for you to be in the room or in the space. You don't need to sell yourself. You don't have to try to force anything. Nothing needs to be forced on you. Just come in, be who you are. If you want to ask questions about a business, ask. If you want to shop, shop. If you just want to eat or, have some refreshments, do that. If you want to laugh and sing and have a good time, do that too. But that's really what the space is about. It's just a safe space. And outside of Soft Girl Sunday, we also have our upcoming content creation bootcamp. So we did do one online through my Patreon account. It was $5 a month to join for 2 months. And if you still want to join, you can come join, get access to that, and join my Patreon team. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but we also have content creation bootcamp in person, and that is happening in McKinney, Texas. So this boot camp is a little different because each person that joins gets a 20-minute session, like I'm one-on-one with them, walking through content creation and giving them some of my tips and insight that has really helped me with gaining that traction online. And creating that traffic that I'm looking for. Because a lot of times people are like, I need traffic, I need eyes. So I'm going to be talking about that. And everything that you donate or purchase from these upcoming events goes towards the proceeds for Soft Girl Sunday for this year and for 2027, because we are also working on some other events behind the scenes. And yes, I did listen to everybody. They want another karaoke night. We're going to have them. How many we have, I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to let you know there will be karaoke night. We are going to make that happen for the people because I've been getting too many requests from people that I didn't even know were watching karaoke, from people that attended telling me that people that were watching them online said they want to come, from the members of the directory. So we will have karaoke night coming too, but you just have to stay tuned and be subscribed to our newsletter so you can get a notification to join when we're ready.
Okay, that sounds great. So, we definitely want to tell you happy birthday ahead of time, and
Thank
we
you.
hope that you have a wonderful and joyous birthday celebration. We do have Tiffany tuned in and watching. She's in her car watching, and she's applauding us behind the scenes. So hello, Tiffany. We have some other comments that saying, "What is this?" So let's tell them what this is since they want to know.
This is elevation. This is accountability. This is proactivity. This is pioneers in the making. This is feeling empowered to get into your community and learn about all of the resources that are available. Because again, at bossbayblog.com, there's really no way for you to leave without getting something of value, of positivity, of light. We have so many wonderful professionals from all around the US, even some outside of the US. And anything that you're looking for in your life right now, just about anything. Okay, and I'm gonna say everything because I don't know what you're looking for, but just about everything that you might be looking for, we're gonna have a professional that will be able to assist you, elevate you, support you, encourage you, provide resources or services that can bring some joy to your life, bring some positivity and productivity to your life. So, as an entrepreneur or a shopper, that's what this is.
Exactly, exactly. So we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for coming on and being our guest and always breaking down the different elements of business to us and the way that you have found solutions for the people that are in your community. And it's not like you take the time and just say, hey, everybody go over here. You actually take the time to educate. You take time to make sure that they know exactly what they're doing, what they need for their business. You listen, like you said, to what they are looking for and to even the things that are not in the community. You listen to those things as well and listen to the people outside of the community and bring that to the community too.
Yeah.
So if you're not involved with Boss Babe Blog or don't have your business mentor, we're not saying that she has to be your business mentor. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is this is something that would be wonderful for you to connect with. This was something that would be great for you to have time to elevate your business. If you want to take your business to the next level, this is something that can do that. So connect yourself with people that are wanting to help. Connect yourself with people that are already doing what you want to do and connect with them and learn what they're doing. So these are conversations and these are opportunities for, I'm going to say opportunities. These are opportunities for you to come in on a Thursday, learn what you need to learn, find out what you need to find out what's missing about your business, and do something about it. Do
Yeah.
something about it. You
Those are
know,
the words.
if you have a business, connect,
Yeah.
connect. Find out if this is what you need. Find out if this is something that's going to help you.
Book a
Because
consultation, schedule a meeting, book a call, show up to the call. Oh my God. Like why are we so sabotaging? I have people who they'll book a call and then they never show up. You know that this is what you need. You know you need the elevation. You may not, whether you need it from me or not, you're gonna find out in the call. But book the call, commit, show up for yourself, because usually after we get through the call, well, calls and consults, but in my consultations with my clients, usually in the beginning, they might have those, oh, I was feeling like this, but by the end of the call, we leave with clarity. So show up for yourself because you don't know how it would turn out if you don't show up and you're not there.
That part.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. But we definitely want to give you thanks, give you your flowers while you are here on the show. Take advantage of the expertise that she's putting out here in the atmosphere for free. You're not even paying for these nuggets that she's dropping. All you have to do is show up to the interview and get the information and do something about the information that you receive.
Yeah.
So, again, we want to say thank you for tuning in. For everybody that's watching, everybody that's going to watch, we want to say thank you. We're glad that you tuned in. We're glad that you're taking time to watch this and learning everything that you need to learn when it comes down to taking your business to the next level.
Yeah.
So, again, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Soft Girl Sunday this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful birthday and enjoy yourself. Take some time
Thank
for
you.
yourself and enjoy yourself for your birthday. So, if there are any last words or anything that you want to give to the audience before you leave today?
Yes. I want to make sure that even though I've talked about the decisions and the importance of the kind of decisions you want to make. I want to give flowers, since we do have one of them here, to some of the professionals that really are working hard to show up for themselves, despite what might be facing and what obstacles they might be overcoming. So one of those professionals is definitely Tiffany. So shout out to Tiffany, membership specialist. She's everything. Okay, she's everything. But shout out to her for so many different reasons, not just because she's a part of the Boss Babe blog family, the team. She's now a client of Boss Babe blog. But it's those days when you feel like you don't want to do it, that you push through and you still show up for yourself. Those days where your mind is intrusive and says things like, well, what's the point of you planning? You're not going to go anywhere with this. And you still keep planning regardless of what your mind is telling you in the back of your head. The days when you step up on the mic and your mind says, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, and you still show up. And I want to give flowers to all of those professionals. You also, Nicole, because we've had our conversations off camera about that discomfort of being that spotlight, and you've taken it on like a badge of honor, and I really do love it. I would never have known that you were a person that doesn't like to have the spotlight, and that that speaks volumes to the level of courage that a person has to have for this to be something that they are genuinely uncomfortable with and not feeling natural in, to go out and do that anyways. I want to give flowers to all of those professionals that do that and maybe don't get seen enough, because oftentimes we don't talk enough about the good. We do talk often about the bad. So I want to give a highlight to those professionals that are really working hard to come through for themselves, even if you're not where you think you quote unquote should be at this moment. You have to keep going because you're going to get there. And then I would say to anyone that's not there yet, um, the value of doing this, of making those decisions for yourself so you can have better results, isn't just about having the results. It's about appreciating the journey, and it's about understanding that you're teaching yourself to trust yourself. When you do what you say you're going to do, you're teaching yourself to trust yourself. When I wake up in the morning, I have a list of things that I'm going to achieve. I actually have a list right over here behind me. It's a checklist. I may not get it done exactly at the time frame that I wanted to or hope. I try, but sometimes I'm a little bit late. I'm a little bit early. But guess what? I'm going to get it done because I said I was going to do it. I have events that I host. Even on the days when I'm not feeling good internally or I have something going on in my personal life, I'm showing up to this event, I'm opening these doors, and I'm smiling. I'm greeting every single person that comes through. And I'm not leaving this building until every single guest has been greeted and thanked for attending. And I've smiled and said hello to every single person that crosses my path. This is the level of integrity and follow through that you need to have. You know why? Because you can trust yourself when you say you're serious about something and when you want to do something. You're psychologically training your mind to trust what you say and take yourself seriously. When you don't do what you say you're going to do because you don't feel like it, because intrusive thoughts, because people's opinions, because you're comparing your life to the next person and telling yourself that you can't achieve because you have certain obstacles or a different lifestyle or you were born into something, you start slowly and psychologically teaching yourself that you cannot achieve and you are not in control. So it's not just about getting the results or making the money or looking a certain way. It's about teaching yourself that you can trust yourself and honoring yourself. And that comes with a different level of respect, and it will show in everything that you do. There are things that maybe in the beginning of my business and my growth, I would have said, oh, yeah, man, I can do that, that I'm not going for today. I just ain't. It ain't ever happening. You know, when people try to come at you and try to drain your soul for free, it ain't happening. And you know why? Because I've worked so hard and I've showed up for myself, that I trust myself, I respect myself, and I value myself. Does not mean I don't have my low days. But because of that hard work that I put in and I make myself show up and make those decisions, I start to trust myself more and more with everything that I do. So we're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for labels. We're not looking for an easy way. We're not looking for someone else's life because we think that's going to make it easier for us to achieve. We're looking for doing what we said we're going to do and making an impact in the areas of our lives that we feel like are important. From there, you will see growth in your business, but you must be consistent and you must believe in yourself. And that starts with execution.
Definitely, definitely some great words of wisdom. Take heed to it. Make sure that you're implementing it into your life. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do with the information that has been given today.
Yeah.
So again, Katan, thank you so, so, so much for being our guest today. And we truly appreciate you being on the show as always. And we look forward to the next time that you are a guest on the show as well. And we're getting kind of accustomed to you being on here all the time. So we might have to keep this going a little bit. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I think I'm
I,
gonna get the show package so I can have a segment on the motivational talk dialogue and show, because I have a couple ideas in my brain for that. So
definitely that is something that is out there and available if you go to lacosmith.com. So, again, I want to say thank you. I don't want to hold you up. I know you have some things to do on that checklist, get that checklist checked off. So we appreciate you coming on, spreading your wisdom, helping the people that need to be helped with their business, and doing it with the grace and passion that you always do it with. So thank you for being our guest today.
thank you, thank you, appreciate you.
Bye bye. So you have heard from Katan Paul. Again, she is a remarkable person when it comes to getting your business together, when it comes to getting the things that you need lined up for your business, getting your mindset right when it's time for your mindset to get right for your business. These are the things that you need in place. So take the time. If you didn't get to watch the whole thing or you got bits and pieces of it, go back and watch it. If you're watching it live, put hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. We definitely want to say thank you for everybody that tunes in and watches the show. We are grateful for you. Motivational Talk Dialogues and Show. You can go to the website, LacoleSmith.com, and you can sign up for a free show. You can sign up to get the package that she was talking about. We have 3 different packages that you can choose from. And everybody got a package that is suitable for them, even if it's the free package. Take advantage of the opportunities of being able to broadcast your business for free because it starts there. It starts with the opportunities that are given to you. If you have free opportunities, go ahead and take care of those opportunities and get your business out there. Go ahead and make sure that people are seeing you. Make sure they're hearing you. Make sure they know what you have going on with your business. Show up to events that people have going on in the community so that you can broaden your horizon, connect with people. These are the things that we want to be doing. These are the things that will help elevate your business, take your business to the next level. If you stay inside and you're not doing anything, then guess what? You're not going to go anywhere with it. And like she said, I don't like being in the spotlight, but I had to learn that I have to come out of my comfort zone in order to make sure that my business is going in the direction that it needs to go in, that is accomplishing the things that it needs to accomplish because God didn't give me this by mistake. It wasn't a mistake that he gave me these businesses. It wasn't a mistake that he said to do the things that I'm doing. These are not mistakes. These were intentional because he knew that I could fulfill them. And I have to have the belief in myself to know that I can fulfill these things that he has placed within my spirit and within my being, and that I can help connect and elevate the people that are connected to me. And I can give the people that come through my author coaching course and all of the people that are connected through the motivational speaking course or the mentorship, anything that you're connected with, anything that you're going through, I have a 100% success rate. And that's not by accident. It is not by being Lacole. It is by doing what God said to do. And that's what you have to do in your business. You have to make sure that you're doing what God wanted you to do with your business and you're taking it to the next level. You're being intentional. You're doing the things that you need to do to elevate yourself, but do not wear yourself out. You do not want to end up like me and having a light heart attack and you're going through the health challenges. I'm excited to say that I took my last chemo pill. I've been on a chemo pill for 5 years and I took my last one on Tuesday and I'm so excited about that. These are things that I was still working my business and doing and getting up and going and making sure that I was accomplishing the things that I was accomplishing. There were days that I didn't even remember what I was supposed to be doing the next day because the chemo pill gives you brain fog. It makes your things are cloudy. But I kept pushing and I kept going and I kept doing. The last 3 weeks, I've been sick as a dog coming off of this pill. But I kept pushing, I kept going, I kept doing. And that's what you have to do. You have to keep showing up for yourself. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep going. So this is your girl, Nicole. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. But just remember, your voice is important. Speak loudly. And go ahead, go over to LacoleSmith.com. Check it out. It's something over there for everybody. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.